Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 4 with the white-green humans. I think this is a very acceptable hand with double Dragon Hunters and a Duskwatch Recruiter and a Hidden Dragonslayer. So, last game, getting beat out with Thalia's Lieutenants. I'm definitely going to look into Thalia's Lieutenants in our future deck list with this. Possibly just cutting the werewolf theme and just going into the double strike route actually seems quite good. Or just keeping it as is and just trying to put in the Thalia's Lieutenants here and there. We'll start off with Dragon Hunter, because I'm thinking that Thalia's Lieutenant with double strike is huge. Putting it on, but then I probably want maybe a first turn Dragon Hunter is enough. Now I have to run like the Inspector or Kytheon. All right, a black deck. So I think that I'd rather just Canopy Vista instead of Duskwatch Recruiter here, rather than it's a 2/1 power on board, a 2/1 power on board. Instead of Duskwatch Recruiter out, other than we can activate it next turn. So I just don't want it to die to removal. And I want to put him under pressure. Yeah, it's still Duskwatch Recruiter. So we're going to attack in with the Dragon Hunter. And cast the Duskwatch Recruiter. And this forces a spell out of his hand next turn. I'm sure it's going to be a Grasp of Darkness. And he can just do it in response to the flip. Ultimate price. Okay. So we have an Artful Maneuver that we could cast. I'm just going to morph over Hidden Dragonslayer. Down to an 18. It's going to be another green-black deck. This one might be the Seasons Past deck, though, so we might see a good variety of decks. This is the matchup that I dreaded the most, just because it's very hard to race the Languish. But he's going to read the bones, so Double Striker here could at least do some significant damage. I do not want to overextend into a Languish, though. Artful Maneuver is quite weird, so I'm just going to shoulder to shoulder. This gets a card draw. Again, I'm not overextending into Languish, because he's dead anyway with Artful Maneuver if he doesn't Languish. Hope it's a Tendrils in his hand and this survives. So here now I'm kicking my... No, he's dead if he doesn't. So Ruinous Path. And 1, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so the Dragon Hunter would have worked there for lethal, but with the Read the Bones and that many signs that Languish was coming, I don't think that was a smart move. And maybe that wasn't a smart move to play Dragon Hunter, but now he's got it. I've diversified the field here. I can protect my Dragon Hunter from a Grasp with the Tandem Tactics. No, I can't. Grasp is -4, -4. So a Duress. That's fine. Takes the Artful Maneuver. Which means now he must have another removal spell. We can draw those Dragon Hunters. And there's the Grasp of Darkness. And he's got a Hissing Quagmire he can draw next turn. But I still think that it's just not overextending into Languish. But if he had it, you think he would have just used it. Well, we're going to overextend. See what happens. Read the bones. Okay, so he should be dead here. I don't think there's anything you can draw into because Declaration of Stone does not exist in black. And that is that. So Hidden Dragonslayer is probably a card I don't like in this one. I'm going to love these Hermits. This is the card the Hermit comes in for. Don't know much of what we're going up against. I still think this is Seasons Past, so Center Soul is wonderful. Even though it doesn't get around Languish, it gets around a lot of the other stuff. And this is we want like Titanic Growth. Dragon Hunter is fine as a one of. Might of Masses, I'm not going to have that much power out. Hidden Dragonslayers are all gone. Dromoka's out. This card just probably needs to be cut. Here's where, like, Herald of Dromoka could easily just be a Thalia's Lieutenant. Thalia's Lieutenant, yeah, it's going to come in this deck list. Declaration of Stone in the non-budget deck list. Lead by Example, I'm not quite certain it needs to be in here. And Shoulder to Shoulder is the other one I think that's going to be quite weird. I'd rather Tandem Tactics. I guess Tandem Tactics is just weaker. So yeah, we'll get rid of the Tandem Tactics and then put in a Shoulder to Shoulder. Enshrouding Mist doesn't do anything. Mind of the Masses, no. Lead by Example we'll keep in. Instant Speed's fine. And the instant speed off Tandem Tactics is still probably better than a Shoulder to Shoulder. This can get me back into the game. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter at this point. It's just, yeah, let's play a one of. Tandem Tactics is too awkward to try to get above Grasp of Darkness. This hand's way too awkward to keep with no green sources. Hey, just gave me back the exact same. I'll keep this, though. I don't want to go down to 5. And bottom the Partisan. It literally just gave me almost the exact same hand. The Den Protector is the only difference. So we need to draw into a green source here, or a white card. There's very few dead draws here, other than just a solid green card or another Dromoka's Command. Dromoka's Command is a card I could have easily cut. I think it's just still powerful in this. Well, there's a green card. I don't know, maybe Hidden Dragonslayer is just better than some of these pump spells. Gives me another aggressive card. We hit the one comes into play tap land. And he's going to read the bones again. I hate to run like even Den Protector or the Duskwatch Recruiter, because it's the Recruiter that gets me way back into this game. He was digging for fuel, though. Obviously, he doesn't care about discarding cards. Seasons Past has so much card advantage. I have a nagging feeling that anything I put out is just going to die to one of his removal spells. I'd almost like him to resolve a threat first. Well, it's going to be the Duskwatch Recruiter because we can get it back with the Den Protector. But this card has a 0.00% chance of surviving. As he'll drop another black source and grasp it or ultimate price it here. Yep. So I will Arashin Foremost. Again, Den Protector is the one I want to protect. For later, because it can get me back a card. But knowing there's a Nissa in there, I'll keep the commands in just to kill it. It's value. I think it's better than like a lead by example. Still thinking Collected Company, if not a main board card, might have some value in the sideboard. Thalia's Lieutenant gets kind of awkward with both Collected Company and Thalia's Lieutenant. And running the 1-drops with like the Hidden Dragonslayer, or the Dragon Hunters. And that guy dies to another ultimate price. Get a Canopy Vista here. Still don't think it's quite the right time to put a Den Protector. We need one more land and then we can get value out of it. At this point, this game's pretty much over. As now he's just going to start beating me down with 4/4s. Season Pass gets him at Dark Petition. Okay, that's another nice card. He'll probably go get a Read the Bones just to fill his hand back up. Don't know how many they run. Just to maintain that card advantage. Or nothing. Okay. We'll still play the Arashin Foremost. It's requires an answer. It's going to be a Ruinous Path for the Hissing Quagmire and make a 4/4. Another card I don't want to play at the moment because it's just bait for... Man, this deck really wants to get to 5 lands for Den Protector and Duskwatch Recruiter. Hits a swamp off of his Nissa. See if he's got another Ruinous Path. He sure does. And I don't think that using a Dromoka's command does absolutely anything here. And swinging it for 12. Yeah, this game's over. There's nothing we can do here. We'll go on to the next one. Or onto the sideboard. Very awkward hands with the Titanic Growth. So I'm thinking Hidden Dragonslayers want to stay in. And then we'll take out maybe a few Dromoka's commands just because they are quite awkward. We'll keep in like 1. I think just keeping in 1 is the right play. And then this puts us up a high count with the Hermits. So maybe we still do want the shoulder to shoulder, I'm going to take out. We'll smith this. Keepable. Definitely keepable. This can just come into play tap, though. And Hidden Dragonslayer is just going to be value. No duress, but ultimate price is a real thing. And here we will reveal a forest. And just cast the Hidden Dragonslayer. So we need a double strike next turn. I'd love to see it comes to play tap land. Just a dead weight. That's a good card against us. I still don't want to go Den Protector. It's just not value. And now we're kind of in the opposite direction. Yeah. So hopefully it doesn't go Nissa here. So read the bones. Fill back up the hand. And we need to draw creatures. There's 28 of them. That is not a creature. Still don't want to play the Den Protector. And there's Kalatas, which is also very annoying. And we draw yet another land. So the Den Protector is okay here. At least it gets some sort of value. You can get back a Hidden Dragonslayer. Again, this card has like a 0.000% chance of living right here. And unfortunately, that string of lands we just drew into is this is probably our worst showing for the matchup though. These last two games, the deck has worked quite well up to this point. The matchups that we lost were very close. This one's just going to be just not getting any sort of explosive draw, and then I guess this is the problem with running the instant speeds. I think there's some merit to a deck with the Lieutenant, and instead of going pump spells and the other wolf, you can even just use the 2/2 wolf for value. Now Den Protector is completely useless. Just going to morph over Hidden Dragonslayer. That way we can pump up Kalatas and actually kill it with a Hidden Dragonslayer. Sounds so bad. Tons of removal in this guy's deck. Well, I guess that's a game plan. Still seems so bad. As this is a 3/4, we can lead by example, actually. Well, now we Titanic Growth. So you have an ultimate price here. I'd rather just get in the damage. No. He's got an ultimate price. Who are we kidding? Oh, ridiculous. But it still does kill his Kalatas. I guess that's better than nothing. We got rid of 2 removal spells. We have a Den Protector that can get back, I don't know, something decent. But our opponent is just going to continue to get insane card advantage. He's another Read the Bones here. Dark Petition, grabbing a Read the Bones. Yep. Recruiter's really good here. Is it Recruiter or Dent? No, it's Recruiter. And I think I want the Arashin Foremost. That gives me some sort of play, but with 7 cards still in our opponent's hand. This is renewal, okay. So that's actually good news. He gets a ton of card advantage and life. But I get... Ugh. To hit the Arashin Foremost on the Hidden Dragonslayer, and at least I get some life and kill some zombie tokens. I'm cool with that. Maybe I'll actually see what I can get off of the Duskwatch Recruiter. Get another one. Unfortunately, we don't. Yeah, I need to establish a bit of aggression here. I'll gladly trade for 2 tokens. Guess it's just going to be 1 token. So Languish is a very real threat. If he languishes. Another Read the Bones. And there's our buddy Languish. Well, we get back some sweet cards. We'll Den Protector for a... Ooh, that's a beautiful card. We will first play this Hermit. Alright. We're in decent shape, actually. I'm very surprised that it's come to this. And yeah, give me a card if you grasp the darkness. Oh, that's fine. A card and I get back. A Duskwatch Recruiter is probably the better card here. I want to get a Titanic Growth, but... And a Center Soul. Beautiful. But Hermit's probably dead here. Seasons past. Yeah. There is everything back. We might just establish a Kalatas here. Jeez, look at that. 7 cards come back to his hands from the Seasons past. Evolving Wilds. And he's going to ultimate price the Hermit. So I'm just going to get as much value off this Duskwatch Recruiter as I possibly can. He drops a Dark Petition and a Kalatas. He must have another one in his hand. I hate this Dragon Hunter. It's just going to be Duskwatch Recruiter. And get as much advantage off of it as possible. Just going to force out a Languish here. Nope, yeah, cast back the Nissa's Renewal. to gain a bunch more life. This just thins out his deck at this point. Dark Petition for what now? The 4th Read the Bones. I think that's all of them. Hey, we get 10 Protector, which is probably one of the more powerful cards that we could ask for here. So we will morph down a Den Protector. And I think that we do... He has a Languish back. No, there's a Languish in the bin. So possibly the Languish is gone. We can get in for some damage for the Arashin Foremost. That's only 2, though. I'd like to get more advantage off of it. So I think we just attack in. Get him down to a 30. And see what he can do for 14, 15 mana. Which is everything. So there's the Languish. So we will... get back. At this point, we're just going to be cycling Den Protectors for Den Protectors. Well, there's a tough card to deal with. He does still have another forest to actually activate the Nissa. And he will put out the Ashaya, which I'm going to kill, though, with a Hidden Dragonslayer. Oh, absolutely. Going to kill the Ashaya with a Hidden Dragonslayer. Unfortunately, though, the Kalatas is going to be very, very rough to deal with. Den Protector could come out here. Everything starts to get exiled, though, when he kills. Yes, I still need... No. Den Protector cannot come out this turn. Well... at least we did kill the... There's a Deadweight coming up. He can sack the Evolving Wilds to get rid of it. Season's Pass gets everything back again. But Kalatas is going to be very rough. In all honesty, I could take care of it one more time. With a Den Protector getting a lead by example, and killing it off with a Dragon Hunter. So, but I'm down to a 7. with our opponent having quite a few removal spells. I can also give it Center Soul I can get back. Don't know if I quite agree with that Ruinous Path. There's Center Soul. But this is going to be very awkward. I think I need to go Dragon Hunter just to provide a blocker. Or the Arashin Foremost. If I put out the other Den Protector, so what could I get with a Den Protector? He's going to try to kill it twice because he can then get in with damage. Yeah, absolutely has to put out a Dragon Hunter here. Still 8 cards in hand. Natural Ice hits nothing in my entire deck. Oh well. So the Deadweight. This is where we Center Soul. This is where he grasps. Oh, really? But he'll be able to kill this one off. Now that I do about that one. Gives him a zombie. Can he do 33 damage in a turn, though, is the... No, I can't do it. This is Renewal. Which doesn't find him a lot. Flipping over Den Protector does nothing at this point. And Dark Petition, what else could he even have in his library? 19 cards. Crazy matchup. No, he's just going to let it go. We will use the Den Protector to maybe get back a Center Soul. I think what do I get here? It's just a Hidden Dragonslayer to kill off that Evolving Wilds. See if he has 6 mana. Yeah, so maybe I should have got a Center Soul, and then that would have protected the Dragon Slayer, because this is going to be dealt with. Yeah, should have got the Center Soul. Fortified Village comes into play tapped. I'm not sure I have enough. I can't do both because this comes into play tapped. So I definitely should have got... Nah, there's really nothing that this... I love Lifelink, though, to kill off the... Still have to morph it. Still have to try. The season pass go on the bottom, and then he just keeps cycling through them. Looks like another Nissa's renewal. Another season's passed. Yeah, he sees two of those up, and it's like, what, infinite that way? Because instead of exiling the season pass, it puts on the bottom of the library so you can keep doing shenanigans with the card. So I guess there's no way for him to self-mill. And which card is this that he's dead? Okay, so he's... Kill the Evolving Wilds, but he still gets in for plenty of damage. Because he has a Grasp of Darkness he can do now on my Den Protector. Okay. And that is game. Alright, so we'll go on to the wrap-up video. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with the wrap-up video for this week's Playing on Budget for the Green-White Warriors. Went 1-3, but I think those matchups were a lot closer than the scoreboard indicated. A lot of them were very, very 1-2 losses to every one of those. And, or do I, yeah, the last matchup was very rough for us to deal with the heavy control. But, I mean, the Center Soul gives us a nice little perk. So we didn't get to see a Silverfur Partisan. I mean, Languish can take care of all of our tokens. But for the most part, I'm liking the way this deck runs. I'm questioning, though, where to go. If it's Collected Company that wants to be in this deck, whether it is Thalia's Lieutenant that wants to be put in this deck, because the majority of these cards are going to be humans. And just Thalia's Lieutenant has a lot of good synergy with cards like Den Protector and even the Arashin Foremost. Putting a counter on a Double Striker seems pretty good. But I think no is the right answer to that, because the most you're really going to get value out of the Thalia's Lieutenant is a late game 2 counters on something, which is the exact same thing that the Shoulder to Shoulder does, or the Lead by Example. And so I think the right route is just to add a few more control. We would have won those games if we would have had cards like Declaration in Stone or Silk Wrap or Stasis Snare in the list. Basically, Hangerback Walker taking one of the games, and the other game being taken by the land being flipped. I can't think right now, so late at night. Into the 9/7 indestructible indestructible lifelink haste creature. Dromoka's Command was wonderful in this deck. I think that's enough to justify even running the Silverfur Partisans, and I think that we can go down in count to like the pump spells. Whether it be Tandem Tactics, which I still think is a little bit better than Lead by Example. Lead by Example and Shoulder to Shoulder, I think, would get the cuts, and Might of Masses. I think the right way to build this deck is just going to be with the Titanic Growth. I think this is enough of a pump strategy. The Dragon Hunter was also quite awkward. I'm not sure it wants 4. I'm thinking 3 is the right number for it. So this gives us this amount of room to go a Collected Company, to maybe find another warrior that fits good in this type strategy. Oh, I don't like the Herald either. So this would put us at 24 and kind of a flex spot of 4. We'd even put a Secure the Wastes. They're warriors. I don't think that we have plenty of synergy with the Arashin Foremost, though, that I don't think we need to go up and count. We could go up and count in Surrak. I think Surrak was actually wonderful. I think that is the right card that we throw in here. Is 2, possibly 3 Surraks. Puts our count back up to 26. Whoops, we cut one now. And gives us the ability to have very explosive draws through Surrak and Arashin Foremost, and then having just any other power on board. So I do want to keep my 2 drops in the form of Den Protector and Hidden Dragonslayer, and I'm still okay with the fact that if we end up having to just cast them for their non-morph, just getting the value out of a 2-1 lifelinker and a 2-1 evasive is perfectly fine. Shoulder to shoulder out of the sideboard can go. We need to make room for these Declarations of Stone. I think that that's where Declaration of Stone is probably a card that wants to be mainboarded. I still like the Tandem Tactics, still like the Titanic Growth. Somberwald Alpha can go out. I think that there's very few matchups that I'd want it. And we could go up to a full playset of Center Souls. I did end up cutting the... Now I can't even think of the target creature spell. But this was phenomenally good in the Warriors, or the Humans Mirror, which is it's a white spell. We had it up here. 1 second. Just a 1 white. Griff's Boon's actually quite interesting in this deck too, giving +1/+0 and flying. Ooh. That seems really good, actually, with the Arashin Foremost, but I'm gonna not put it in here at the moment. Okay, the Lithomancer's Focus. No, not the Litho. That's preventable damage dealt. This creature by colorless sources. What's the one that I just saw that was from Origins? Enshrouding Mist. Is that it? Yes. Enshrouding Mist. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn to prevent all damage. I think that this did very well in the sideboard. And I think that we can safely just get rid of possibly Stasis Snares and just keep in the Silk Wraps, or take out the Silk Wraps and keep in the Stasis Snares. I think that's a better route because Stasis Snares hit more targets. I think that it's just we bring it in versus decks that we can't handle particular threats, and it's just 1 more mana than a Silk Wrap. But yeah, I want to be able to put in. I think at this point we don't need the clip wings, so that allows me to put in 1 more Enshrouding Mist and then allow this for this like tempo control route in the sideboard. Enshrouding Mist is going to be great versus any sort of other creature-based deck where we can keep our creature alive and kill theirs, as well as it's very good at countering a red spell, like the Radiant Flames is another way for at least 1 creature to survive. So I'm thinking that would be the list that I would run. Possibly maybe Collected Companies in the sideboard, but this becomes a lot more aggressive. I could go back up the count to 4 Dragon Hunters. I just don't see the point to that. I think 3 is the right number. You want to see them every now and again, but you're really going to bank off of hitting a 2-drop into a 3-drop rather than just the Dragon Hunter. And I think that this list will perform a lot better, a lot more streamlined. We now know what cards work and what cards don't work. Lead by Example is okay though, but it's really the synergy off of it with the Silverfur Partisan. I think we have the Tandem Tactics for that reason. And possibly Tandem Tactics is just better than Enshrouding Mist. But preventing all the damage, I think, is pretty good with the Enshrouding Mist. And so just having those options to bring in the Center Souls and the Enshrouding Mist and the Tandem Tactics. And even Declaration of Stone, you could cut quite a few cards at that point if you're going up against decks that clog the board, cutting out the Dragon Hunters, cutting out a few Hidden Dragonslayers, bringing in both Silk Wraps and cards like Center Souls to protect. Anyway, if there is a card that I may have missed, let me know in the comment section below. I had a ton of fun with this list. I'm thinking that it still has a bit of fine-tuning left to go. The Declaration of Stones, of course, bring this above budget, but it's still quite budget even with Declaration of Stone. We're sitting at $145 for this complete deck, which is very, very feasible for standard right now when we just came out of a season that was requiring $500, $600, $700 for a standard deck, mainly due to the mana base. This mana base is incredibly inexpensive. I think it's around $35, $40 for the mana base here. Anyway, this has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.